Class is in session. The Brofessor is in. What's happening, y'all? Today, we're going to be looking at ways that we can maybe beat this impossible boss battle. Here's another option. It's for now my sneaky pick, and it's really not that sneaky in that many of you have suggested it elsewhere. But this is something that might do the trick because of the buffs that he can possibly have and the things that he can do. So, first off, it's Otis. For me, he's only 5-star bronze, but at 6-star, he might actually do the trick. And again, this is a long shot and a stretch, and that's why he's my sneaky pick. But if we take a look at what he has and what he would do, so if I was to play Otis in this boss battle, I actually wouldn't use the finisher. I would actually use the 6-star move, and I'll show it in a second. What I would use would be the double axe handle, so a 7 MP red move that deals. It's probably easier to show this in the portal when I can show it actually at 6-star. Hold on, let's use the magic of editing and get to the portal. Okay, so we're in the portal, and this is Otis at 6-star. What I would use would be this red 7 MP move, the double axe handle, deal 132k damage, and modify a 5x5 random area into X break gems. So there's the 25 X break gems you're going to throw on the board. I would also use the Dozer Bomb, which is an 8 MP purple move, deal 146k damage, and make 32 random gems into blast gems. And then I would use the 6-star move. Possibly use the 6-star move, but it's something that would be on the board, especially if I can try to use it with the time that's available. And that's the pop-up Samoan drop. Deal 150k 3k damage, and make your red gem damage boosted by 105% damage for 2 turns. The reason I say maybe use the pop-up Samoan drop is that it only boosts red gem damage, and so you're just hoping that X break gems land on the red gems. What you're really looking to do is to make all of the blast gems on the board, right? So that's why making with the Dozer Bomb is so important. And I'll explain why in a second. Let's get back to the game. So making the 30 random blast gems is what's going to trigger the plate. And for this, you're going to use the Titan plate, and that's going to turn 200% gem damage for 2 turns when you make 8 of them. And at 6-star, he's making 32, so that's not the problem in itself. So how would you run him? Well, this is the debate about what you want to do. So do you want to buff the gem damage as much as possible, or do you need to get the gems on the board as quickly as possible? So you might want to consider putting in an MP trainer to get going. So either red or purple, depending on if you want to get the blast gems down first, and then so you can get the extra buff before you do the X break. That's entirely up to you. Or you can do it the other way, which is this way here, where you're just adding X break gem damage as much as possible, right? So you would put in the Honky Tonk Man. X break gems do 50% more damage. I decided to go with the Triple H King of Kings, so that the X break gems get 4,500 more damage, and then again, X break gem damage 25% more if you got Z Kane. And since I don't have Omos, and Omos adds even more damage, Omos I believe adds 100% more X break damage, then I've added Sami Zayn there to add 50% more damage to the blast gems. You can add anybody else who would add more gem damage in that spot if you don't have Omos, like I don't as well. And so the gameplay then is really quite simple. You're just trying to get either the X breaks or the blast gems down as much as possible. And these would be the only 2 moves that I would use. I would actually not use a 3rd move. I don't think the buff, even in the 6-star move, is enough to do damage. So you're just breaking gems until you get one of these two loaded, drop them down, blow up the board, and then you just continue to drop them down and blow up the board. And hopefully you can get 2 cycles through in turn 1, and I think that might even be a stretch based on the fact that his moves are just so high charged. Being 7 and 8 is pretty high, and that's usually what powerhouses are. Thanks so very much for coming by and taking a listen, and hopefully this sneaky pick is one that we can use to our advantage. If you like this video, give it the thumbs up like, give it the subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think, good, bad, or otherwise. And hopefully we can find a way to beat this Impossiboss battle. I will see you next time that the class is in session, and stay tuned. I'm going to be previewing more characters as this week goes on. Class is over. We'll see you next time.